Dubazi wasn't able to do her lesson today, so she will be back on Monday. So I'm going to teach you about prefixes and suffixes. Welcome to Grade 5 English. If you have any questions, you can raise your hand and I can unmute you, or you can chat to me in the chat. Okay, I'm glad to have you here today. So basically in this lesson, what we're going to learn is what prefixes are, where and how we use prefixes, and prefixes as an exercise. And then we have, I'll talk to you about suffixes, how we're going to use suffixes, and prefixes versus suffixes. Okay, so this is the same thing that I just explained. It's a table of contents, and we're going to put it in perspective. So a prefix basically is a group of letters that are placed before a root word. So something that is placed before a root word. You have a root word, that's the main word, and then a word before it is a prefix. So it can also be added to the beginning of a word to change its meaning. So it gives the opposite meaning of the root word. Now, for example, if it says, I am happy because I was walking my dog, so now a prefix would be, I am unhappy because I am walking my dog. So now, can you see how the sentence, the context of the sentence has changed because you had a prefix. You added a prefix, like unhappy now. Okay. So if you have a question, you can raise your hand, or if you want, you can type your answers in the chat. You can do either one. Okay. So just remember that when we add a prefix or a suffix, it changes the meaning of the word. Now, prefix is before the word. There's no spaces between the prefix and the root word. So happy here is the root word. You can see that. And the prefix is before the root word. Then we have how we're going to use prefixes. So now we have different types of prefixes, like non, N-O-N, good morning. So non, un, I-M is im, I-N is in, I-L is il, and I-R is ir. So these prefixes basically mean it is not, or it is the opposite meaning of something. Like, for example, nonsense. So the root word here is sense, but if I add non, no problem, Nantandu. If you add non, then it is nonsense, and it changes the whole word. So non, it means nonsense means the opposite of sense. Like, for example, when she is speaking, she is making sense. Okay, but when she speaks, she is talking nonsense. So can you see the two different opposite meanings of sense? Sense is the root word, and then nonsense is the prefix by adding non. Then you have happy. Happy is the root word, and then unhappy is the prefix. Okay. Now another prefix is re. Now everything in this box over here on the left-hand side. Okay, Lunga, you can, I'll explain it again because you asked me to. So now when we have a prefix is a word that we add before a root word. Now, for example, if I had the word sense here, S-E-N-S-E, sense is the root word. But if I add this word non before sense, now it changes the whole meaning of the word. So it becomes nonsense. So sense is one word. Like, for example, my teacher is making sense. So you know what that is. But if I added non to the word, this root word sense, is my teacher is talking nonsense. So it's the opposite meaning of sense. Okay, so when we add a prefix, like these words here, non, un, im, in, or it is basically means the opposite of the root word. Like, or no, it's not the same, it's basic opposite. Kira, you have your hands raised. You can, I'll unmute you or give you permission to speak. Kira? Are you able to speak? Okay, I think you're low. I'll go back. So now we have happy. Now happy here is the root word. Now if we add Kira, I'll ask my host to unmute you because I couldn't unmute you. Can you try? Kira? Hi. I can hear the background. Are you, Kira? Do you not want to speak? Okay, I'm going to mute you. So now you have the word happy. Now if I add the prefix un, it becomes unhappy and it changes the whole meaning of the word. So you need to learn these words very, very well. Okay, so non, un, im, in, or Kira, I think it's best you type in what you need to ask me in the chat because I've tried already and I heard the background, but you didn't speak. So you can, whatever you need to ask me, you can type it in the chat. So all these words here on the left-hand side of this table, you need to learn very, very well. The prefixes that you can use to add to words when they ask you in tests. For example, name the prefix of and whatever word that they ask you. So now, when you add the prefix re, the meaning of re means to do it again or to go back again, like replay the video. Okay, so when you add re, so replay means to go back, and if to revisit means that you want to do it again. So here the root word is visit, and you added a re to change the meaning of the word visit, like revisit, you want to go again. And then play, replay means to do it again, go back to it so you can watch it again. Like if you watched a movie and you really liked it, so you could replay it. Now, another prefix that you can add is miss, M-I-S, and then you add it to the root word. Now, the meaning of miss when you add that prefix means that you did it incorrectly or it was wrong. Like, for example, I misunderstood my teacher. So miss means like you have the root word here, understand. Now, this understand can also be broken down, but understand is one word. Okay, that's the root word. But if you added miss, means I misunderstood. Understood means past tense. Understand is in present tense. So it's I misunderstand or I misunderstood what she said. Okay. Then we have the prefix D. Now D means to reverse, remove, or out of, like destruction. Okay. Now you also have construction. So this is adding D means to remove or to reverse. Or you put department. Okay, so department tells you which section that some like you have the men's department or ladies department or children's department, all in one word. Okay, then we have C-O or C-O-M or C-O-N, con, com, or con. Now, the meaning of com, or con is with or together. Okay, so we could construct, that means you're doing it together, you're constructing something, or you have computers, they used com here. Now we have prefix where you have dis, dis, dif, or di. Now it is separation. When you use this, it is a separation of something. Dif is when you're moving away, or d is in to part something. So you have like disbelief. Okay, let's not worry about these examples here. Let's look at belief. You have belief. Now to the root word belief, we're adding dis, so it is disbelief. Okay, and if you have the word fusion, Fusion, and if you added DIF, it is diffusion. You would learn in science, diffusion. So diffusion means to separate something. Okay, and who knows how we can apply, what word we can apply DI to? Does anyone know? You can raise your hand. DI to a word where we can apply, like you have the word solve, SOLVE, and if I put DI, dissolve, so we're dissolving something. So can you see how the word solve has changed to dissolve? You can even use dissect. Okay, so now I'll move on to the next slide, and then you need to give me these answers. You need to see how the meaning of the sentence has changed because the prefix un, or use the following prefixes that I have here. Im, un, anti, di, dis, in is in. So you have prefixes, which is pre is before, un is not, miss is wrong or bad, pre is again. So prefix is added before a root word to make a new word. So you need to remember this very, very well. Prefix is added to before the root word to make it. So now if I have patient, you can type the answers in the chat, or you can unmute your, raise your hand to give me which word from this text box I'm going to use for patient. The CD, your hand is up. You can unmute yourself.
Ma'am,
Yes.
A will go with M.
Okay, and how will I spell the whole word out?
Impatient.
Okay, very good. So it's IMPATIENT. So it's impatient. So I'm going to type it in the chat for you so you know. So we're going to say it as IMPA, put it in small letters. Right, impatient. So that would be patient. Now, Faith, you want to do? What would I use to write for do?
Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am can say undo.
Very good. So we could say undo. Well done. Okay, so then we have Elijah. Would you like to do C? Elijah, can you do C? Like
Hello, ma'am.
Hello, how are you?
I'm fine, and you?
I'm good, thank you. So what would we do for C? Like would be?
It would be unlike.
Okay, so we could say unlike, and another one?
It would be unhappy.
Okay, that's D is unhappy, but we can also say we dislike something. We're still doing C, right? I'm happy that you did G, very good. So like, you could say it is unlike, or I dislike cake because they didn't put enough chocolate on it. Right, thank you so much for that answer. The layer two, do you want to do D? The layer two, you're gonna do D.
Ma'am,
Happy with D? Yes.
D.
Yes, D.
Unhappy, ma'am.
Very good.
Unhappy.
It is unhappy. So, and now we have, thank you for that answer, well done. We have Hilishle, you're going to do E. Alishle? Satisfied would be? Okay, Alishle is having some trouble there. Faith, I see your hand is up. What would we do with satisfied?
Ma'am, it's going to be unsatisfied.
I'm not satisfied. I'm unsatisfied. Let's see. Okay. How about, you said it's unsatisfied, but how about dissatisfied? I'm dissatisfied.
Ma'am,
Huh?
it also works, ma'am.
Yes, it also works. So can you see? I'm dissatisfied. Okay.
Yes.
Unsatisfied is not really correct. It's more dissatisfied. Okay. So you're going to say, I am dissatisfied, not unsatisfied. Okay, F. Kira, you want to do F? You're able to unmute yourself. There is, F is crime. What is crime? Okay, Halishle, you help Kira out there. I didn't hear. Yes, what is fair?
Ma'am.
I think you have a problem with the mic because I saw you speaking, but it didn't go. Halish, is it you? What's the so what's the answer? Fair is?
Ma'am.
Yes, sweetie. Okay, anyone else that wants to try fair? Kira, you are unmuted. You can try.
Ma'am. You hear me now?
I can hear you now. Fair is? Okay, Halish, help her out. Okay, Kira, you have a problem with the mic, but you can type your answers in the chat and I will see them. Okay, Hanishle, you can do it. You can unmute yourself. We're doing G. Fair is? No. Okay, Faith.
Unfair.
Unfair. Very good. Well done. So we have, oh, some persons gave me all the answers. Well done, Amanda. I'm very proud of you. Very good. I'm so happy with your answers. Right. So G, fair is unfair. Okay. So now Faith, you will do H.
Ma'am,
Approve is? Faith, I'm waiting. Approve?
ma'am, can you say disapprove?
Yes, that's correct. So it is disapprove. Well done, Faith.
Thank you,
Okay.
ma'am.
You're welcome. Niletu, I see your hand is raised. Are you going to do I, perfect?
Unperfect, ma'am.
No, it's not unperfect. It is imperfect.
Empty.
Okay, so it is imperfect. Okay, so I have Lunga. You want to do possible?
Impossible.
Very good, well done. So it is impossible. You know, it's nice to try, And even if you get it wrong, there's nothing wrong with getting it incorrect because we learn from our mistakes. Okay, so value, who's going to do value? Okay, Hamish Claire, you're going to do value. You raise your hand. Value is
Value.
sorry, you said D value. Well done, D value is correct. So value is D value. Okay, and then the last one, agree. The CD, you're gonna do agree. The CD, you know, degree, agree. Okay, Nantandu, you can do agree.
Agree.
Yes, agree would be
Disagree.
disagree. Well done. Okay, I'm very proud of you. Right, Faith, I see your hand is up. You can do social.
Ma'am.
Faith, you're gonna do social. You can choose it from the box above here.
Yes,
Social
ma'am.
will be
Ma'am. I think it's unsocial.
okay. So I see I didn't put in the agree one. It went to you, Faith, the answer. So to everyone, the agree would be disagree, and the social will be antisocial. Okay. So we say social is anti. Oh, I spelled it incorrect. Okay, so it is anti typing error. Okay, anti-social. So the last one is social, it is anti-social. Right, so now we're going to go on to suffixes. Now suffix is, okay, before we go to suffix, you all know a prefix. Prefix comes before. Like I showed you here, prefix, if you look at where I'm circling, we say, no problem, Kira, I understand. So a prefix is added before a root word to make a new word. So what would a suffix be? Before I put that slide on, does anyone know what a suffix would be? You can either raise your hand or you could type it in the chat. What is a suffix? Elijah, you can tell me what a suffix is. You can unmute yourself.
Ma'am, a suffix is just like a prefix, but now with the suffix, the suffix is in the front.
The prefix is in the front, so the suffix would be? From what we know to what we don't know. So a suffix is placed at the end. Now some suffixes are ends with es. Some of them also ends with just s. Then we have suffixes that ends with ish. Okay, and some suffixes end with er, and some ends with able, able. So I'm going to ask you to mute yourself, or I'll mute you, and only when we're going to answer a question, then I'll give you permission to unmute yourself. So a suffix is, it ends with es, or ISH or ER or ABLE. Okay. We have ES, ISH, ER or ABLE. So now we have very. Now what happens with a suffix is sometimes we can't just add like how we added a prefix where we just add the word. Now sometimes in a suffix we have to change the root word a little bit. Like in this case when we have very, so we have to scratch out the Y and we have to add a IES. So when we scratched out the Y, we added a IES to make the new word berries. So that was in plural. Now we have, Shura, if you can type your question in the chat. I know you had your hands raised, but there seems to be a problem with your mic. So what if, I know you have a question, so if you don't mind, can you please type it in your chat. Now we have baby. So how are we going to change it? It's going to be babyish. You actually, it's this word here, BABYISH is not correct. So we're going to take out the Y, like how we did the previous one, and we're going to add a ISH. So it's going to be BABISH. So we could say, you know, this child is being a bit babyish. Okay, so it is without the Y. We drop out the Y. Then we have run. I see that some child has tried to take on the name of the host name. We do have a host, and the host controls all the students. So I know that my host is in my session. Okay, so we have run. So we have an ER, but now what we do here is we add another N. So it is RUNNER. So it is runner. And then the other word I wanted to show you is when you have the word adore. So what happens is you scratch out this E and you add ABLE. So it becomes adorable. So you can see in these words, you have to either scratch out some of the words, and in short words like this, we double the last letter, and then we add the suffix. Okay, and when we add the suffix, it makes the new root word. It makes a new word. Now, examples of suffixes is you can either add an S or an ES. Now, this indicates if you're adding an S or an ES, it indicates it is in plural. That means that you know you have singular and plural. Plural means many. Then if you add the suffix ed, this means that it is in past tense. Okay, so Kira's typed her question. She wanted to ask if we're going to do our homework at the end of the lesson. I'm going to ask your teacher to give you homework worksheets from next week. So she is a new teacher, and I know she's not well yesterday and today. So what I'm going to ask her is to prepare homework worksheets for you. She can use these exercises as teaching exercises, and then I'll ask her to upload homework worksheets for you on the web. So whatever you do for the day, and you can go home and do the homework. Okay, or while you are at home. So you're going to do the homework at your home. You don't have to go home. Then you have ing. So ing, now most often when you use ing, it means it's like a continuous tense. Okay, so the continuous tense means that it is still happening. So the ing, you add it to the verb, and this indicates that, sorry about this, I'm trying to move the text boxes for your chats and the participants to unmute you, and it keeps on going off. So let me just move this down. So we have ing. It adds to indicate that it's happening in the present tense. So the present tense means that it is continuously happening. So you have the words, for example, hop. Now remember, it's a short word, so we double the last letter and we add an ing. So it becomes hopping. For example, the frog went hopping along on the grass. Then we have race. Now we were having a race, but we're adding an ed. Now the suffix here, because it has an e here, all we do is this e becomes silent and it is raised. We just add a d at the end. Okay, then happy. So what happens here, you know that you're going to use the suffix ly, but what happens is we scratch out the y and we add an I, and it makes it happily. So the Y is changed to an I. So we could say they lived happily ever after, where the Y was changed to an I. Now plural is when we add ES. Okay, so raised was past tense. Hopping means that it's present tense, they're continuously doing the action. Now, when we're making leave into leaves in the past tense, so we change the F to a V, okay? So it goes leave, we drop off the F, and we add a VES. It becomes leaves, okay? And now, this is an irregular plural, okay? So the plural here doesn't really have to do with the prefix and suffix, but we're just showing you how you have an irregular verb where the goose changes to geese. Okay, so suffixes is s and es, ed, or ing. Plural is when you add an s or an es. Past tense is when you add an ed, and continuous present tense is when you add a ing. So what I want you to do after this lesson, you can go back to visit this tutorial on YouTube site, and you can copy all these words, the suffixes up, and you need to learn them well because they do test you in exams. So you can copy these suffixes down as well, and also these prefixes, and you must learn them well. Okay. And you need to learn how to apply them. So you're going to give me these answers now. You can either type it in the chat or you can pick up your hand to give me the answers. So we have a little passage and you're going to fill in the suffixes. Gosh. So now who wants to read the first sentence? You can pick up your hand. Kira, let's see if your mic is still giving you problems.
Ma'am, can you hear me now?
I can hear you perfectly. I'm glad you sorted out your problem. So we read the first sentence, then you can give me the answer.
Okay. Mom always says to be when crossing the street. The aunt is supposed to be careful, ma'am.
Very good, well done, Kira. So mom always said to be careful. So Kira choose the answer, careful when crossing the street. Well done, Kira. Leletu, you can unmute yourself and you can read and do number 2.
The spider is on your show is completely. The answer is supposed to be harmless, ma'am.
Very good,
Spider that
well
is on your
Very good, Leletu. The spider that is on your show is completely harmless. Well done. I'm very proud of you.
harmless.
Nadia, you're gonna do number 3. Welcome. Welcome.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello, how are you?
Fine, and
Good,
you?
thank you.
Ma'am, the sentence says we are very for all the help that we received. Ma'am, it says that the sentence, the correct answer is we are very thankful for all the help we received.
Very good. I'm very proud of you. Well done. Okay, so we're very
Thank you, ma'am.
thankful for all the, you're welcome, help we receive. Faith,
Yes, ma'am.
and do the next one. You're going to do number 4, Faith. Hello, Faith.
Ma'am, ma'am, for number 4, last night's sunset on the horizon. The answer is last night the sunset on the horizon. Ma'am, the answer is wonderful.
Okay, I think we've used beautiful for number 4. Okay, wonderful is okay, but the one that makes it really nice is last night's sunset on the horizon was beautiful. Okay, so number 4. Well done, Amanda. I'm very proud of you with your answers. And you gave me all the answers. That's perfect. Well done, Amanda. Right, Lasidi, you're going to do number 5.
Number 5 says, I dragged my cell phone into the tap and now it is. The answer is worthless. I dragged
Okay,
myself.
you are a beautiful young lady. Okay, so I dropped my cell phone in the tub and now it is worthless.
Worthless.
Okay, you could also say that it is, okay, worthless is good. Right, so now we have the layer 2, your hand is up. You can do number 6. Well done, your answer was awesome. Number 6.
Mark felt against the strong winds on the boy. The answer is supposed to be powerless. Mark felt powerless against the strong winds on the boy.
Very good, well done. I'm very proud of you. Okay, Kira, you're going to do number 7.
The musical the kids performed yesterday was wonderful.
Okay, that's a very good answer. Well done, Kira. Awesome. And we have non-tan Faith. You're going to do number 8.
Ma'am, can you hear me?
I can hear you, sweetie.
Susie was, and she broke Mom's favorite vase. So the answer is going to be Susie was careless, and she broke Mom's favorite vase.
Very good. Well done. I'm very proud of you. All of you guys are really good. Okay, well done for your answers. I'm very, very proud of you. So you're welcome. So to sum up, Helishle, you can read what a prefix is for me. You can unmute yourself. And Lunga, Helishle, you're going to read it for me? Okay, Nantandu, you can read it. You want to try Nantandu?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, read what a prefix is.
Prefix is a group of letters placed before the root of a word. For example, the word unhappy consists of the prefix an, which means not, combined with the root stem, word happy. The word
Very,
unhappy.
very good. Well done. Thank you. Okay, so we'll have Faith. You can read what a suffix is.
A suffix is a group of letters placed after the root of a word Example, flavorless consists of the root word flavor combined with the suffix less, which means without the word flavorless means having no flavor.
Okay, well done. Okay, so I hope you understood what prefixes and suffixes are and how to use them. I had a lovely time teaching you today. I hope you enjoyed the lesson, and hopefully your teacher will be well again and prepare awesome slides for you. Okay, enjoy your weekend. Bye, everyone.
Bye, ma'am.